Hey guys, welcome to the final part of our three video trilogy of the top 5 decks of this current format. Today we are going with my personal favorite list, which is budget list. No matter who you are or where you come from, if you love playing a game, a card game, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, or Lorcana, you need to have access to a deck that will not break your bank, but will still let you play competitively, or at least give you a shot. So trying to include all players in the game this way is the reason why it's my favorite. So we're going to start out a little weird. We're going to go with number 5 with Goblins. They're the new deck that came out in the recent booster set. From what I can understand, it's mainly a rank 3 engine, which is always good. Rank 3s have been good in the past, and it's the reason why Terratop came back. It has good synergy with itself. If you have access to the Diabell Star package, you can also include it in it too, because it's within the lore. But you are still able to make a relatively decent deck with just the Goblin cards, which themselves, as recording this video, are still relatively cheap in comparison to other decks. But the reason why it's number 5 is because we haven't really seen this deck hit the meta in any way yet. But that may change in the future, and it may go up later on, but I'm comfortable playing it at number 5. Now, number 4, one I'm personally excited to build myself, is Magis Spectors. Magis Spectors in the past have been a really hard deck to contend with, mainly because all their main deck monsters can't be targeted or destroyed by your card effects. That alone makes them competitive enough, but they have relatively simple effects, and they're Pendulum decks, which doesn't rely on Electromite, unlike other Pendulum decks do. Electromite would be nice to have, but it's not necessary. But their most expensive card right now, I believe, is the Secret Link 2 monster. I believe it was sitting around like $5 to $6 a piece. Everything else is really dirt cheap because it's been reprinted, or they're just supers and under. So not only do they have incredibly strong monsters with good protection, but they, including with, I believe, the Draco Slayer monster that is able to search out Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which will lock out your opponent out of a third of the cards in the game. Plus, the monsters can't be targeted or destroyed. Sure. That sounds amazing. But again, like I said with Goblins, it's at number 4 because we haven't really seen it make a splash yet, because other meta players are having fun with Snake Eyes and the Voiceless Voice. Now number 3, bringing up Manny here, Sword Soul. I personally like Sword Soul. Kind of had to do a flip on them, because when they first came out, I didn't like them. They were annoying. Always bringing out Baron de Floor, having the face down spell, plus hand traps and everything. It was annoying to deal with. Nowadays, I respect them more, mainly because I've actually played the deck, and I've come to realize it's more of a control aspect, which is my play style. I guess the reason why I didn't really like them before is because they were such an expensive deck when they first came out. The Shishaos, I believe, were like $30 to $40 a piece. Now they're barely over $1. But yeah, this deck, like Kashtira, has really stood the test of time. Kind of goes in waves, but now I think it's starting to regain its popularity, mainly because of how cheap it is. So yeah, pick up your copies and your Tenyis and your Sword Souls, everything you need. Even Baron de Floor got reprinted, and it's around $3. So yeah, you can make a full-powered Sword Soul deck relatively easy. Now, this part is going to hurt me. Number 2 is going to be my birds, Flunderies. It was really hard to pick to put this either at number 1 or number 2. I really wanted to put it at number 1, but the real number 1, which I'll get into in a minute, you probably already know what it is, but it barely beats out, mainly because of one deciding factor: Droll and Lockbird. Because of the Voiceless Voice Ritual deck, people are main decking Droll and Lockbird. And Droll and Lockbird pretty much shuts down this deck entirely. But granted, if you're able to have Call by the Grave or what was it, Crossout Designator, you're able to move past. You're able to push through that and able to make your plays. But the reason why it is also a number 2 is because of the new Quick Play spell from the recent set, which boosts even more consistency with this deck. Because another thing that hurts this deck is Imperm, or Book of the Moon, or anything that targets to negate. And you can just, tribute it away so you can get another search out of your deck. And on top of being able to get the search off of your Rabina or your Eglin. I mean, this deck was literally a godsend this card was literally a godsend for this deck. What more can I say? But like I said, the number 1 definitely beats out Flunderies for the number 1 spot, and it would be Fire Kings. Mainly specifically the Fire Kings if you just buy the 3 structure decks, which realistically you only need 3. If you have extra money in your budget, you can get other cards to help support it, but with how the deck works and how its synergy works, you are able to get away with just the 3 structure decks. Back in the day when I was preaching the same choir for Trap Tricks, where you can make the best meta deck, but best budget meta deck with only the 3 structure decks for that deck, you can do the same thing with Fire Kings. It's really insane. But anyway, that's going to do it for our 3-part top 5 decks. If you like this video, please let us know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications, and stay tuned for new videos and some more deck profiles for other card games. And until then, we will catch you guys in the next one.